not sure if you've seen this ad, but lately I've been seeing an ad on television that ends with the phrase, "He gets us." The He is Jesus. And today's gospel is proof that, quote unquote, Jesus gets us. For it begins in today's gospel, "Do not let your hearts be troubled." Jesus knows more often than we'd like to admit, or sometimes even are aware of. Our hearts are troubled. But human nature being what it is, we need to be convinced. We need a reason not to worry or not to be upset. It's not enough to be told, "Don't worry." To this, Jesus unites his person and his teaching to God the Father when he says, "You have faith in God, have faith also in me." When you stop and think about it, we use this form of logic or argument when we're trying to convince someone that they can trust us in recommending someone or something to them, whether to a family member, a friend, or even a customer. We tell them, "Well, you trust Dad's judgment and he uses John the plumber. That's why you should listen to me about him." Well, Jesus wants us to have faith in his teaching. And so he continues about the hope for a path to heaven. He says, in my experience, the words that so many people want to hear at a funeral mass, Jesus says, "In my Father's house, there are many dwelling places. If there were not, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you?" We all want to hear that just as God knows each one of us by name, that Jesus has prepared a place for us in heaven for when it's our time to leave this earth. And not only that, but once our place is ready and it's our time, then Jesus will come back and he'll bring us to heaven. As my friend Bill would say, this is tremendous. But here's the part that we can easily go by. And it is where Jesus says, "Where I am going, you know the way." But do we? Are we more like me without a GPS, not too confident in going where I've never been, or even admittedly outside of 128 and 93? So Thomas asked the question that most of us would when he says, "Master, we don't know where you're going. How could we know the way?" It's a great question because either you make it to heaven or you don't. And this is when Jesus reminds us all that he is the way and the truth and the life. And then he says, "And no one comes to the Father except through me." Jesus is unambiguous. Jesus is telling us that if we want to go to heaven, then we need to let him guide and teach and heal us throughout our time on earth. My brothers and sisters, there is no alternate route. But here's the good news, is that Jesus does get us. And the question is, not only do we get him, but do we follow him today?